I never do take two. I never delete anything, and this is my only bad habit, which, incidentally, they blame for everything, which is absolute rubbish. My health is absolutely brilliant. It's much more important not to drink, get loads of UV. Let's do it again. Right here. He pumps his chest up. Pig fucker! Ollie, this is copyright me, golly wogopoly bloody. And that's no illusion. I haven't even thought of perhaps double entendre in that. Pig fucker, snout in the... I had my coffee. I've run out. I forgot to bring water. So I actually scooped some of that water up. That's the price I have to pay for this. Pig fucker eating gollywogopoly, blah blah, Starmer, blah blah. Starmer, who claims that he was instrumental in the McLiable case. Very important. Helen Steele did fantastic work, although failed. I've seen McLiable, that made a lot of money, by the way. She had a exhaustion breakdown half the way through. If you listen to my talk with somebody yesterday, Annie, you needed to get humour in. She made it far too serious. Pig fucker oligopoly. Starmer is such a fucking slithery lizard. He overclaims his key role in the McLiable case. Don't believe a word. I don't think he did very much at all. Blah blah blah. But I got this... Nobody sends letters anymore. I got this funny letter from this guy. Video of me working on the wood is the only video I want to put up, just in case she does still look at my stuff. I got loads of videos of me working on my wood over the years. So this guy sent me a letter. What kind of a wuss sends a letter? And he says, yeah, his parents were the richest in a whole area. They lost all their money, which is the best thing that ever happened. I couldn't give a shit. Is the perfect. Also is a very good story against inheritance. Inheritances. You know, we knew this. There'll be old, you know, there's old books. They're crystal clear. Most of George Eliot is about how inherited money just fucking poisons everybody. You know, and she's unimpeachable. Yep, so this guy sent me this letter. He says that, yeah, he was 18 and he did have a few, you know, these things called anxiety, social anxiety, are real, but nobody can help you out of them. Only being kicked up the arse by something going wrong in life actually really sorts it out. But anyway, yeah, he was so trepidatious to go to the doctor when after several years he's like, stomach always indigestion, always feeling shitty in his 20s. But he didn't, because he's like mindful that even the fat black people who lived in his borough, jolly fat black people, they would have things wrong with them that nobody talks about them being fat, of course. That it's like they might die if he uses their space. So he didn't go to the doctor, and then. Yeah, last 10 years, you know, every youngster, even somebody very important to him, splinter one day. Thorn, they were out hand-scything. Thorn, painful. Nature designs them to be painful. She couldn't not keep it in her mind. She has to go to A&E, when actually they just said, leave it, it'll pop out the following day. Now, absolutely everybody runs to the doctor. Well, they're entitled to it, aren't they? It's a continual entitlement, but you can't use that word, it's too big a word for them. But it's like, it's for their own good. Because you go to the doctor and there's nothing worse than going to the doctor and the remedy that the doctor suggests doesn't really work out over time. So only by all of us, we're all in it together, regulating our appetite for the health service. Never mind the Green Party never talk about, he says the Green Party never talk about the bed blocking is all because the Green Party are terrified of saying to people, try and keep together with your partner or find a new one, because the main reason for bed blocking is people living alone who've got officially nobody back home to. I mean, a really good example. I actually, oh yeah, he says in his letter, 2017, doctors, okay, we've tried other things. Your tonsils are often inflamed. Maybe you've got chronic long-term tonsillitis. No, I had almost certainly, what's it called? Mold disease in the old property. Don't mind, I would never even consider suing or complaining. But I couldn't actually, I had to cancel several appointments to go and have my tonsils removed because there was nobody. You're not allowed to leave a hospital even after a minor thing like that without somebody with you. You're not allowed to get on the bus. So I had to cancel. I didn't want to put acquaintances to the trouble. Best silver lining ever. Turns out, a year later, everything's cleared up because I did exercise. Blah blah blah. Now that's getting all smug, but yeah, thank God I've still got my tonsils because they two. You see, there you go. This is your health service. One doctor said definitely get your tonsils removed, and then I was there for the pre-op appointment, was it? And I got chatting to somebody else who was a top doctor. He said, no, that's not a good idea. That's the point. You have the top, and I can do science, and I can talk with people, speak with people properly, and listen. So I had two top experts in Hereford Hospital, where you are very likely to get MRSA as well, or were 4 or 5 years ago. And yeah, two top experts, both giving completely contradictory opinions on a very straightforward thing. As a middle-aged person, totally irrelevant. Tonsils are just superfluous. Other one says, no, they may have uses that we still don't even understand. Don't get locked out. Events dealt with that. But point being, oh, you're so right. Yeah, train himself to most of the time go to bed early, and the most important thing of all, you see, here's your well service this morning at 4:30 this morning. People got to tell their stories. Yeah, before we go into all of this blaming other people, you have to accept reality. A wonderful woman telling the story of her daughter, slightly going off the point here, how she'd messed around with drugs and bought a fentanyl laced something or other and died. Tell your kids, above all, because I was simply going to say, yeah, train yourself as a middle-aged person to go to bed at a reasonable time most of the time. Now, obviously, those in their 20s,